To understand what happened to Rome, you must first understand the world Rome feared. Beyond the Rhine, beyond the Danube, beyond the carved stone markers that said, "Here, civilization ends." The forests were ancient, enormous oaks that had stood since before Rome was a village on the Tiber. Ash trees so dense that even in summer, little light reached the ground. In winter, those forests became something else entirely, silent, cold, predatory, and infinite. This was home. The Germanic peoples lived in villages of timber and thatch. Their longhouses were built to last through northern winters, low-ceilinged, smoke-filled, warm. At one end the family lived, at the other their animals. In the worst months, those animals were the difference between life and death. They were not primitive. They were adapted. Their society ran on labor, the labor of every hand. Women managed the household, the food supply, the weaving, the healing, the raising of children who had to be tough to survive. Some women held status and power. The Roman historian Tacitus, no friend of the Germanic peoples, admitted with something like grudging admiration that their women were not weak. Leadership was earned, not simply inherited. A chieftain held his position as long as he could defend it, with force, with cunning, with generosity. Warriors followed the man who fed them, rewarded them, and led them to victory. The moment he failed them, another man would rise. This was not chaos, it was a different kind of order. Their warriors trained from boyhood. They understood terrain. They could move faster through forest than a Roman column could move on a road. They were not soldiers in the Roman sense. They had no legions, no supply trains, no engineers building siege engines. But they were dangerous in ways Roman commanders sometimes failed to appreciate until it was too late. They had pride, they had memory, and they had patience. Iron was precious. A sword was not just a weapon. It was an inheritance, a legacy, sometimes a name. Warriors spoke of their blades the way Romans spoke of property. The craft of the blacksmith had a kind of sacred quality. To make iron was to control something powerful and mysterious. They worshipped in the forest, not in temples. Their gods did not live in stone buildings. They lived in the great trees, in rivers and storms, in the cry of ravens and the last breath of a dying enemy. The vulva, the seeress, was a figure of real power. She could see what others could not. She was consulted before battles, before migrations, before decisions that would change everything. This was the world beyond Rome's walls, not a world without culture, not a world without meaning, a different world, one that Rome misread, underestimated, and in the end, could not control.